Crowds of people are still lined up around Atlanta City Hall as council members are set to vote on a funding to support a construction of the Public Safety Training Center for Atlanta Police and Fire.
Protesters have named it, as you might recall, Cop City. We have team coverage for you tonight with reporter Joe Ripley closely following the lead up to the vote. But we're going to begin this evening with Tracy A. McPeer live from City Hall, where she's been speaking with protesters and monitoring increased security measures taken at today's meeting. Tracy?
That's right. And right now there is still a small crowd outside City Hall. They're chanting, they're singing, they're even playing the drums. Now, they've been out here for hours, even ordering pizza a number of times and handing out water and ice cream sandwiches to their supporters. While inside, there are at least 500 more protesters. Now, the city council meeting started at 1, and so far there have been 5 hours of public comments. We're told more than 1,000 people have signed up to speak. Now, this is the final hurdle for approving funding from the city of Atlanta as construction begins. Now, many of the protesters are speaking out against the project for a number of reasons, telling us they'd rather the funding be spent on other programs. Some citing the protection of the trees, some citing archaeological concerns, others telling us this facility is against their political beliefs, and others claiming the residents who live near the site do not want it built there.
That's a black and brown neighborhood, right? And having that many police in that neighborhood is going to make people scared and fearful to do anything.
Going to increase the level of police militarization, increase the level of police overall, and these are things that socialists generally don't favor.
Now, there was increased security throughout the day, with most in-person services here at City Hall being handled online. And there are plans for the city's offices to reopen tomorrow. Also, liquids, aerosols, and other items were not allowed past security today. Now, even with this massive crowd here at City Hall, which at times was very loud, sometimes even yelling at police, overall, it's been mostly peaceful. And it's important to note that along with the large number of protesters here, there's also been a very large Atlanta Police Department presence here at City Hall as well.
Tracy A. McPeer reporting for us in downtown Atlanta. Our team coverage continues with Joe Ripley, who is inside City Hall.
Yeah, and Joe, I'm sure a lot of eyes are glued to this city council meeting and this upcoming vote. So what's going on inside there?
Yeah, so follow me here. I'll give you a fresh look at what's going on here at City Hall. You can see hundreds down below watching with bated breath, chanting now Stop Cop City ahead of this controversial vote tonight on funding over this project. Council can take one of 4 actions today. They can vote to pass the funding, refer it back to committee where it could undergo some changes, vote to table this legislation either indefinitely or until the next council meeting in a couple of weeks, or altogether vote to reject this legislation. Council will specifically vote tonight on whether to provide $30 million for the project to the Atlanta Police Foundation, which is largely funding this construction. The ordinance would also approve a leaseback agreement that would have the city make $1.2 million payments each year over the next 30 years, essentially doubling the city's payment portion. City Council President Doug Shipman would vote only in the case of a tie. He says, though, today's vote could impact the construction timeline, and if that vote is no, it means finding other funding measures.
Other ways would mean cutting certain things or would mean, additional moves. So this is a very clear way that money exists, it's already there, and it could be used for this purpose.
And you could hear the cheers as folks down here largely agreeing with many opponents of this public safety training center. Shipman says passing this vote, though, today and relying on funds earmarked in this year's budget surplus could mean construction could pick up later this summer and early this fall on that facility. But that vote could take a while. We understand around 1,000 people are signed up to speak before council. Council has promised they will hear from all of them before a vote is taken.
All right, Joe, a lot going on there. Thank you so much. 11 Alive has been following the latest developments at the facility since the very beginning. You can find all of our coverage and investigations on our website, 11alive.com.